Yo, gonna go over some skills that I have been building for the last 6 months to a year, maybe longer. Some of them are longer, some of them are newer. That is 100% gonna get me to $30,000 to $50,000 every single month, consistently for the rest of my life. Well, of course, there's gonna be scaling periods, but you get what I mean. And one of these I'm very biased about, but I can guarantee you that this is going to be the vehicle that can also get you to that exact same point if you focus in on it as well. First one, it's right off the bat, it's going to be sales. Sales is basically everywhere. Sales is everything. Sales is basically another form of marketing. Marketing is basically another form of sales. Copywriting, another form of sales. It's just putting words onto a thing and driving action. That is literally sales. Billboards. What are billboards? Just an actionable thing to get to, just a thing to promote action to provide you a lead to then turn that lead into a sale. Like there are so many different things. Like you go to like a car dealership because you've seen an ad that is a form of sales. If someone sells you a car, that's a form of sales. Like there are so many. Sales is basically everywhere, guys. So if you're not learning sales in 2026, I feel like you're stumping yourself in the foot because sales is everywhere. It's so easy to get a sales role because people don't want to do sales. People don't want to go knock on people's doors for 9 hours, 10 hours straight on commission, getting doors slammed in your face. Maybe you might even get an AK pulled out on you. You don't know. And that's the good thing, but also the pros and the cons about sales, right? Let's go through the pros and the cons while we're on the topic. Pros: income potential, crazy income potential, right? Crazy income potential, right? Another good thing: you have a skill that you're gonna keep for life. You're never going to be broke or anything of those lines. Whenever you have a skill like sales, because you could go anywhere, you could be making $200,000 a month as long as you're living correctly. You can have a lot of savings. Let's say you lost it all tomorrow, right? You can now go back into a door to door or a remote sales role and be back within 3 months. After you learn the skill, you can take it anywhere. Doesn't matter, right? And the cons: it takes time to learn sales. It takes time to master sales. Also, another pro I'm gonna add after saying that: time passes. Just take the time and learn sales. There's so many different types of sales that you can learn. You can learn door to door, or you can learn tech sales, or you can learn high ticket. There's so many different industries that you can go into. Retail sales, selling products online. Like there's so many different forms of sales that you can go into and make a lot of money with. Okay, and that's why I'm building this skill in 2026, because this is going to make me a millionaire whether I stick with sales for the next 10 years or not. I master sales the next 10 years or not. If I can at least know the certain baselines or have a foundation, build on that foundation, 30 I can make $30,000 $50,000 a month, no problem, right? You can go into life insurance. Like there's so many different ways that you can make money in sales to where you can scale your life within the next 6 months to a year. Brings you to my next thing. Kind of just talked about it. Copywriting, another form of sales, right? You learn how to sell people through words. You learn how to leverage words to drive action. And people do that through newsletters, blogs, emails. Like if you want to be a copywriter for an agency, you can make money doing that. Like there's so many different ways you can take copywriting, or you can use that to make like a small copywriting business off of it, right? To where you can make 30, 50, $60,000 a month, get you a couple copywriters. Now you're making $30,000 a month passively. Such an easy business, right? Such an easy business. Yeah, so like let's say you had two copywriters, you had about 5 clients paying you two copywriters. Let's say you have them at $1,000 salary a month, right? And $2,000 a retainer out of your pocket, and then you have 5 clients paying you 5K a month, right? $25,000 minus the costs, $23,000, and let's say that you pay them like a couple percentages, you're maybe gonna take home around like 20, probably around like $15,000 to $20,000 a month. You can afford, if you really want, a car payment, insurance, 2 to 3K a month, rent, $1,000 on groceries. You have enough money to save. You can still technically save $40,000 to $50,000 a year. That's someone's salary. All right. So just putting that in perspective for you of how copywriting has not only changed my life. I started it about a year ago, just kind of doing newsletters for people, doing Upwork, freelance work, signing client, and now I'm making someone's salary in a month because I just decided to pick up this random skill because it was good in sales. What I'm doing right now, personal branding. In 2026, if you are not building a personal brand, you are already behind. Okay, a personal brand is so strong. We have seen people go from basically nothing to eating the dust off their shoe to making millions of dollars within months. So you can blow up within 3 months of your content. If you are a fitness influencer, you can blow up within 3 months of your content. If you're someone who's in business, you can blow up within 3 to 6 months of your content. Example, right? Daniel Dalen, one of the best entrepreneurs that I've probably ever watched, right? He's one of the most authentic. His videos are crazy, but he was already making 7 figures a year before he started YouTube. I know from a fact that he was making around the $400,000 to $500,000 a month solely off of YouTube, and that doesn't even include his actual business itself that he's building. Around $400,000 to $500,000. You need to be in that specific industry for over 10 years. And it needs to be a good industry. Like you can work at Netflix and you have to be like a marketer or like someone have to like a videographer for over 10 to 15 years to get that kind of job. Daniel Dalen was building a business for 10 years and has just made that salary of someone in a year in a month off of just posting on social media, because that's how people's brains work now. People consume content. They don't want to make content, they consume. No one even says you need to be doing social media for the next 30 years. You could be doing social media for the next 10 years and retire. It just really depends on how you do things. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say, because I can really talk about this for a long ass time. And last thing, self-improvement, self-development, whatever you want to call it, is one of the best things that you can get into, because if your mind isn't right, if your body's not right, then you aren't going to be right. That's something that I had to figure out the hard way. I used to weigh 300 pounds. I'm going to say that right now. I weigh 300 fucking pounds. I'm about 210 right now. The lowest, about like 215, 220. I'm bulking. Shut up. But the highest or the lowest I've ever weighed in my life was 175. If I can find pictures of these, I will probably pop them up on the screen. But I have never felt better in my life other than when I'm working on my body, business, working on my skills, working on my mind, working on my spiritual. All of these different things that form the self-development is going to do nothing but benefit you in the long run. Let me tell you about different stages in my life. I was fat, of course, didn't have any type of fashion sense, didn't have really anything going for me. Then I found out about business, right? I was like, okay, seems pretty cool. I wonder what it is. And this is around the time whenever I was not having fun with gaming anymore. I really didn't care to game. I really didn't want to game. I really wanted to do something else in my life that felt like a calling. And that's when I found out about business. Of course, I knew what business was, but I didn't really understand it. So I went on a streak of watching videos for like three days of watching different business content, different people making vlogs type of content. Who was I watching at the time? I was watching Trey Gustafson, Low for sure, 100 Thieves Low. Damn, who else was I watching? I was watching Alex Eubank around the time. and I was watching. Damn, I forgot his name, but there was a bunch of other people that I was watching too. But those people put it in perspective of what social media and what business could do for your life. That's when I made the switch of watching these videos of like, dang, these people are in really good shape. And then that's whenever I actually called my uncle a couple days later. It's like, hey, unc, about to get a gym membership. Just wonder if we can go to the gym together, and you can kind of get me right. He was like, all right, be awake at 6 a.m. I was like, huh? He was like, yep, be awake at 6 a.m. tomorrow. We can go get a workout in, and then you can kind of dictate it from there. That was one of the hardest days of my fucking life. I've never woken up that early ever in my life. Before that, I was literally waking up around like 12 p.m. every single goddamn day. I was not waking up earlier than 10 or 11 a.m. The latest I've ever woken up was 5 p.m. God, now that I'm saying that out loud, that sounds really fucking bad. Holy Christ. Anyway, the after that day is whenever I started to get into the gym. That's whenever I started to kind of get a little deeper into my craft, started making a little bit of content, and like still playing some games. But my friends would call me. They'd be like, "Hey Trey, you want to hop on the game?" I was like, "Nah, man, I'm about to go to the gym real quick. If you want to hop on after that, then we can do that." Getting my protein in, losing a bunch of weight, and then I was in pretty good shape. I was making content. I was really lean. I was like this, and that, but I became unhappy when I became very lean because of my mental and I wasn't eating like how I should have been. Wasn't eating enough protein every single day to where I just kept getting consistent headaches, and that kind of got me to like wherever, right? But the whole point of what I'm saying is that self-development is going to take you somewhere. Either that's improving your fashion sense. I had to improve my fashion sense. I'll put pictures up somewhere, right? And now I'm getting deeper back into fashion after taking that long break from fashion. I got in the gym, updated my fashion sense, updated my skills, updated my mental, updated my everyday process, got a routine in. All of these different things that flow into self development is what I was doing to grow myself as a person, as a man. And that's one of the most important things. If you don't take anything from this video, if you look in the mirror and hate yourself, just start going to the gym. That's what sparks everything. If you feel confident, if you look good, you're gonna be confident, bro. Just do it. It changed my mental forever. Forever. I wouldn't have done it any different. Yeah, those are the 4 things that I had. That's about all I had for today. About to go ahead and relax for a little bit before I get into some other work stuff, and then I'll catch y'all in the next video.